Hello everyone, welcome back to our English learning channel. Do you want to speak English more naturally? Do you want to understand native speakers better? Then try the shadowing technique. Today I will tell you a story about a young woman named Clara and a life-changing experience she had during a volunteering trip. Listen carefully, repeat after me, and copy my speed, voice, and emotion. This will help you speak English more confidently and clearly. Clara was 22 years old. She had just finished university and wanted to travel while helping others. She loved animals, nature, and meeting new people. One day, she found an advertisement online for an animal shelter volunteering program in Costa Rica. She hesitated at first because she had never traveled alone, and it would be her first flight outside her country. But something inside her whispered, "Go, this is your chance." She applied and was accepted. Clara was excited but nervous. She told her parents, and although they were worried, they supported her. She packed her bag carefully, making sure she had all the essentials: clothes, medical kit, notebook, camera, and a few small gifts for the shelter. Early the next morning, she left her home and took a taxi to the airport. The first step of her journey had begun. The flight was long, and Clara spent most of the time looking out of the window, imagining the adventure ahead. She landed in San Jose, Costa Rica, feeling a mixture of fear and excitement. A volunteer coordinator named Luis met her at the airport and drove her to the shelter, which was deep in the jungle. Clara could see colourful birds, monkeys, and lush green trees along the way. The shelter was a large, open space with several enclosures for rescued animals: dogs, cats, birds, and even a few injured sloths. Clara met other volunteers from different countries. Everyone introduced themselves, sharing why they had come. She immediately felt a sense of belonging. The next morning, Clara started her duties. She cleaned cages, fed the animals, and helped with minor medical treatments under the supervision of the shelter staff. She felt a sense of purpose she had never experienced before. One afternoon, she was asked to take care of a young parrot named Paco, who had been found injured after falling from a tree. He was frightened and would not eat. Clara sat beside him, talking softly and showing him small pieces of fruit. Slowly, Paco began to trust her. Clara wrote about this experience in her notebook every day, describing the animals, their personalities, and her feelings. On the fifth day, the shelter received a group of stray dogs that had been rescued from a flooded village. The volunteers were overwhelmed. Clara worked tirelessly, bathing the dogs, treating their wounds, and calming them when they became scared. She noticed a small dog, muddy and trembling, that looked very sick. Clara held the dog close and felt tears fill her eyes. She knew she had to help him. She gave him water, cleaned his wounds, and stayed beside him until he finally fell asleep. That night, Clara wrote in her journal, "I feel like I am exactly where I am supposed to be." Days passed quickly. Clara became more confident and skilled. She learned to communicate with animals, read their behavior, and help them feel safe. She also made friends with other volunteers. One evening, she and a few friends went to a nearby river to watch the sunset. The sky turned orange and pink, reflecting on the water. Clara felt a deep sense of peace. She realized that even though life at home had felt chaotic and uncertain, she had discovered her purpose. Then one morning, a storm hit the area. Rain poured heavily, and the river began to rise. The shelter staff quickly organized everyone to ensure all the animals were safe. Clara was assigned to rescue animals from a partially flooded area. She ran through the mud and rain, carrying small animals, guiding dogs and cats to higher ground. Suddenly, she saw Paco, the parrot, trapped on a wet branch, terrified. Clara climbed carefully, her heart pounding, and managed to grab him just as the branch broke. She held him close, soaked and exhausted. After the storm passed, Clara checked on all the animals. She felt a mixture of relief and pride. That night, she wrote in her notebook, "Today I faced fear, I acted quickly and I saved lives. This is more than I ever imagined." She realized that helping others, both animals and humans, gave her strength she didn't know she had. Clara stayed at the shelter for another 2 weeks, learning, growing, and forming bonds that would last a lifetime. When it was finally time to return home, she felt changed. She had discovered courage, compassion, and a love for helping others. On the flight back, she thought about how much she had grown in such a short time. Clara promised herself that she would continue volunteering and helping animals whenever possible. Now it's your turn. Play this video again, pause after each sentence and repeat after me. Copy the voice, the speed, and the feeling. This is the shadowing technique. Practice every day, even just 10 minutes, and you will speak English more clearly and naturally. Remember, each small step counts. Thank you for learning with me today. Keep practicing and see you in the next story.